Hey there, folks. Let's do today's CSS Daily Target on CSSBattle.dev. Oh, love it. All right, so what is the shape? It's two shapes. It's two shapes done in a particular way. What's the way to do this today? You know what I think? What am I gonna do here? All right, let's start with the blank template, but let's null out the paragraph element. Let's just see, what do we need to do parts of this? Let's do one blue circle and see what it takes to multiply it. Okay, so radial gradient 1Q. We've talked about 1Q before. 30 pixels, I think. Transparent. So that's how you get a circle. It's too big. How about 25? 25. Great. All right. And then we multiply it. How do we do that? Well, 50%. It's right now. It's 50%. 50% is the document background position. You could also think of it as 0, 0. I think of it as in the center. Regardless, let's give it a width, 30 pixels, and see what happens. And then let's give it a height, 40 pixels, and see what happens. You get a mess. So we need 60, at least 60, to see something. So is that aligned? No, not really. How about 70? How about 75? No, 70 is more correct. 70 on the x-axis looks right. How about 70 here? Boom. Well, that's part of it. One thing I've not done is a mask. What happens if we do a mask? I've never done a mask in a CSS battle before. Let's do a linear, conic gradient. And a mask, what do we do with a mask? We do a, well, we got to create white and black areas, or areas of white and black, areas that will be alpha. Now, the problem is, it also means we're going to nuke the blue background, the dark blue background. So this is not really a suitable technique, but I want to see what it is anyway. So we'll do white. We'll do transparent. Actually, we'll do black and then white. Mask, conic gradient. Is that doing anything? I don't think it's doing anything. Do I know how to use a mask? I don't know. Maybe not. Let's see. 75%. I also am not totally sure that I have a valid conic gradient. Let's copy and paste it into the background and then we'll see. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the conic gradient. Okay, we're gonna do that. There we go. So that's a valid conic gradient. I'm gonna do that, semicolon, like that, and it's doing nothing, unfortunately. What happens if we put that on the paragraph element? Okay, and we do background red. It's just not doing anything. I don't know how to use a mask. All right, so this is an example of how bold and foolhardy I am. I'm willing to experiment right in front of you in public, and I don't really care. Okay, all good. So what's next? I like this background. I think we're going to use it, but it's not correct. The question is, can I nuke this, add this as a color, and do this accurately? Can I fill in more and have it work? Maybe 40. 45, 50. That kind of works. So one thing I could do, and I don't think I want to use the paragraph element, so I'm going to go ahead and nuke that. I mean, I can do what? Box shadow, inset, 30 pixels, 30 pixels. If I set a margin, so you see that offset, margin 0, like that. So this is a thing that I can do. Do I want to do it that way? No, there's not really a reason to do that, because that's also going to nuke. That is going to nuke several different things, and now I can't put the other things on this background, so that's no good. So what else? What else can I do? Well, you know, I'm overthinking it, clearly. Let's do a linear gradient of, from the side, yeah, 90 degrees, and it's red, transparent, and red. 100 pixels, 0, 160 pixels. These numbers are all wrong. All right, and we're going to put it at 0 and 100 pixels down, and it's going to be a height of, or width of 100%, width of 100%, and then a height of 30 pixels, and repeat x. So that's how you get a stripe. Again, the numbers are wrong. Let's push it lower. 1, 30, 40, 20, 20, 25. And it's got to be taller. How about 50? 50, great. And then the next is 3, 4, 5, 6. And then probably it's 100, 260? No. 50, 40? Okay, kind of. 165? 155. 135. No. 35. 40, 45. All right, that's the next piece. And then the next one is a linear gradient up and down. Believe me, I have, so okay, so here, forgive me. All right, so what do I need next? I need the up and down, right? I need the up and down. Yes. So I've got a lot of code to do that linear gradient. This one I'll do as a conic gradient. Which is transparent, 75% around, and then red. And I think it's, what is it again? It's from here, 175 to 225, so what's it, 50 pixels? So it's at 0, 0, and it's got a, no, it's, so you need an at, that's what we need. We need an at 50 pixels, 50 pixels. And we need a comma. So we should get a red in the upper corner. Okay. So if we do 0, 0, and then give it a what, 50% height? No, 100% is the width, and then there's the height. All right. 100, 200, 17, 175, and then down 50 pixels. Getting the idea there. 55, 55, and then this is, that height is not 50%, it's 49, 48, 47, 46. Not quite. How about 140 pixels? Yeah, 140, that's correct. All right, so here's the next part. I'm gonna make the middle part of this transparent. All right, so what next? What next? What is next? Oh, another conic gradient. So what I did was I made, instead of those circles being blue, because I actually don't need a bunch of light blue circles, I just need 5 of them. So really I need transparent blue circles to look through. That's the rationale for that. Come to think of it, I bet there's ways to do this with borders and dash borders and some interesting stuff like that. But because I'm in Safari, dash borders are not going to be my buddy, probably. But regardless, I'm going to set, what, light blue? 75%, or the dark blue, that's the dark blue. And then the light blue, 0. And then I'm going to move that over. There it is. And then how about 100 pixels down? Too far. 6. Well, that's kind of working. 40. Yeah. Okay. And then we do an at. And I'm going to go lower. 50, 60, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. There it is. That's fun. So this is kind of a classic multiple gradient technique. It is pretty verbose, particularly around the red lines. Let's submit and make sure we're 100%. And then maybe we'll do another way. Maybe not. It's been kind of a busy day. So that's that. So this conic gradient and the radial gradient I like. The linear gradient I don't like so well. So I'm gonna So here's what I'm gonna keep. Well, I'll copy the whole thing, but I'm gonna minify and unit replace and submit for a final score to see what the maximal score is for that guy. Okay, now I'm gonna go plonk, and I'm gonna get rid of, what am I getting rid of? I'm getting rid of these stripes, because the stripes are no good. Like, they're just not great. Radial is good, conic is, this conic gradient is no good. All right, so if I've got this, what can I do that's good to create these shapes? If you're shouting from the audience, I can't hear you, unfortunately, because this isn't, I'm in the past and you're in the future. You're in the bold future where you've already figured this out, and I haven't figured it out yet. So is there something that I can do that's clever? Well, if I copy and paste this guy into an element, let's see. So I'm going to copy this. Let's do the blank template again. We're going to put that on a paragraph tag. So there it is. For what that's worth. And what do I need next? Or no, actually. So here I don't need that there. I want this on the body, don't I? Plunk. So there, that's on the body. So what do I do with an element to, okay, so I'm gonna set red as the background. So what I want to do is push that element down. 55, okay, and then the height is 200, 190, okay, and then the width is, the margin width's on, yeah, okay, so -8. Okay, so now I've got the red completely narrowed to this. So then is it 2 conic gradients? Maybe. So if I make a conic gradient dash dash C, this is my conic gradient, and I'm going to say transparent, 75%, and then red. Okay, so if I've got that conic gradient, and I put that as a var dash dash C, that's what I get. So if that's the case, how do I turn that into something that I can use? That will work, that will create the output that I want? Or can I? That's the tricky part. So if I make it smaller, okay, so we're going to put it at 0, 0, and make it 40 pixels wide. There we get stripes. If I make it 100 pixels wide, I get, and then I repeat Y and give it a height of 50%, then maybe I get that. That's along the right lines. Okay, so I think I have, okay, so and then I don't want that height. I want this height to be something more that I have better control over. 60 pixels, 100 pixels, 120, 30. Nope, that's not what I want. Oh yeah, so because I'm trying to use this same conic gradient twice, can't quite do it, but I can move each one. So I can use it 4 times. Is that good? Maybe not. Okay. So I'm going to say, well, I still need a size, and I need a no repeat. So this is maybe not a great technique. 0, 0, 100 pixels, 100 pixels, and no repeat. And then I move it over. $175. And then I got to do that again. Yeah, this is no good. This is a bad idea. 100 pixels down, 120, 30, 40. Yeah, this is getting to be longer. I'm gonna play out the thread because, you know, I'm a good sport with myself. Here's the next one too. I'm gonna set this at 0, 0. And that's in the middle. 0, 0. And I'm gonna make the width wider. 3, 4, 3, 310. 310 is correct, and then down. And then if I let that repeat, what do I get? And not really. If I repeat that, I get a no, not really. All right. So I do need to do it again if I do that. Comma, and then I move it over 200 pixels. 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. I mean, this solves it. Let's submit. This is not more efficient. Yeah, so I'm going to minify and unit replace and submit. And this is not going to be a better score. I mean, I would be shocked if it's a better score than the other solution, which is all in the body. Yeah, no, it's not better. So I'm going to undo and undo. And instead of the creating a conic gradient and then using a var, let's instead not try to reuse it and do just exactly what we need, which is an at 50 pixels, 50 pixels. Move it over 175 pixels. Yeah, and then 100% wide, and then 50 pixels tall, 100 pixels tall, and then it's at 0, 100, 20, 30, 40 pixels tall. There we go. And then we do another one. Now let's go ahead and nuke that, because we don't need that either. Okay, and then it's still, I'm still stuck in conic gradient land, which is not really where I want to be. So then this is at what, 150 pixels wide, 150, 160. No, it's 155. 155. And then that's at 0, 0 for now. And the width is, well, the width is right here, 245, 245. And then move it downward. 50, 60, 70, 70. Which is cleaner. It's not great, but cleaner. Unit replace, minify, turn the body into an ampersand. Yeah, there's a, and then there minify again, and resubmit. And that's actually not a better final score, which points to the what? What does that point to? So this is actually, what are we pointing out? Like, should we have just put everything then? Maybe our radial gradient. Now we don't think our radial gradient is very good, right? Like we think, it's not that good. So we'll do the radial gradient. We're going to copy, comma, and remove this. So there it is. Right now, so maybe for that, maybe we need a covering linear gradient. So this is, now we got linear gradient. So this is a level below the reds. It's coming in from 90 degrees. We do blue, transparent, blue. So you can kind of see that. 40%, 0, 60%, 0. No, it's more like 30. Oh no, how about 25%? 25, and then this is 75. And then I can use the main color there? Sure. And actually I don't even need the 1Q because that background size is a square. All right. But I do need to put that color on the background, which means that any instance of 2D on this bottom layer, I can just use transparent. Yes. All right, so minify, unit replace, and let's submit that. So there's a lot of variations. And come to think of it, if we remove the p tag and then move this whole thing inside the ampersand and turn this into a star, we kind of have it. And then let's move this margins out of there, and then we're going to put the margins on the HTML element. Margin 50, 0, 50 minus 8. Okay. 51, 2, no, 48, 47, 46, 47. Which is smaller still, maybe. Not particularly better. We don't need the, okay, so I got a little junk here. I don't need the height now. Background, at, conic, at, okay, and then we resubmit. So we're nested, we're applying these styles to the HTML element and the body element. Yeah, none of these is particularly better. Kind of chaotic technique here today. And then this also gets at, you know, is all of this overkill anyway? What if we just said, you know what? We just need border. So this is the ultra chaotic way to do this. Well, I don't know if chaotic's the right word, but we're going to set a color of this light blue, and then box shadow. Oh no, I guess we need to do some sensible things with. So I'm going to do 0 here, or minus. All right, let's align this correctly. 4, 5, 6, 55. Okay, 60, 0, 50, 90, 90, 100. Nope, 95. 97. There it is. Okay, and then 260, 50, 40, 42. No, 38. 37. There it is. Okay. There's my circle. Box shadow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So this is even another approach. Okay. So what is that going to be? 70 pixels? 70 pixels? There it is. 0, 140 pixels. There's another one. So I'm basically just doing the math, knowing that the diagonal one is 70 by 7 at 77 below. So I'm attempting to do 140 pixels, 140 pixels. That's how you do that, which is, you know, simple, dumb, straightforward. How about a second one? Can we? So there's there. When I make a second one, you get that effect. All right. Is there a box shadow technique to do? Should we make another element? Why not? Why not? So P plus P. Border radius 0. Background is the red. Color is the red. And then that box shadow is at 0. Well, is that 140 pixels? Is that right? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so we do that. And then the margins here, or do a transform. Oh, I want to translate. So this is the thing I always forget. I've been doing lots of rotate transforms, and the rules are a little different. Okay, so 2. Box shadow 0, 140. That's 2. Okay, and I wanted to move that up, and it's not moving. Does that translate? That translate's not working. Oh, do I need a comma? There it is. That's what I needed. All right. Is this overkill? Yes. Excitedly so. 50, 60. Is this better? Probably not. All right. that's 140. So I still got this stripe problem. So that's fun. So what have I got? I've got that so far. Now, strictly speaking, yeah, no, you can't do that. I was thinking in my brain and not saying to you, could I make the same element and then have its box shadows be the squares? But no, because of the way I'm doing these circles, I can't replicate it because I still need circular elements. I can have an element that's a box and then create squares as its backgrounds or as its box shadows, but it really will be a square, and so I couldn't use border radius to do that. I would get squares. All right. So how do I do these stripes? Well, already I don't really like this. Like, this is not great. I really need these margins to be, something more reasonable. Okay, so let's do a minus. And then I need to move it over. So, okay, here we go. Minus 50. 40, 50, 60, 55, 66, 67, and then once I do that, kapow, there it is. And then I can turn this into our var. Our radius is 50% or --r, and then the background and the color. So I can do the color of this is this clump. --c, and then I do this background is var -c, great, and another, great. I'll turn this color into this, do -c, and then I can nuke this color on the box shadow, and then the margins I'm going to do the same, var -m, comma, and then close parentheses, --m. The box shadow is also a var. Now I do need this one, but I don't need the others. Yeah, I get extras. That's kind of fun. Can I use that? So I'm using the same. Can I use that in some way? And I don't think so. Oh, you know what I can do? I can do... So, I don't think I've ever done this. Let's see if we can do a partial. So S for shadow, and we're going to copy and paste this guy. Bar. I don't know if this will work. This is a very experimental day. So there it is. And then I just do a --s of nothing. No, it's not because of the comma. So this comma is a problem. If I move it, so then it's turning that. So can I add a comma in the thing? No. What's that giving me? I don't know what that's giving me. Okay. So this is sort of working. That's good. Okay. So this is not one, so I need to move this from here to here. So this shouldn't be that, 140, 0, and then it's 0, 140. That's pretty cool. I've never tried that. So that is, and if I remove the comma. So I did not know that, and I don't know if that's truly valid, but that is a CSS custom property whose value begins with a comma. I'm shocked that that's working, and glad that that's working. It's kind of cracking me up, frankly. Okay. What next? What happens if we do this as a linear gradient? We do blue. What if we do just blue and red? And then we set it at 0, 0. And then how high? It's 100%, 100 pixels, no repeat. This is a lot of. Sorry for all the shenanigans here. This is a long one. I just had the itch to try some stuff, try some new stuff today, and that's creating this video. 70%, 71, 72. How about 80Q? 90. Yeah. Let's just go for a normal 90 pixels. 90, 100, 10, 125 pixels. And then we let it repeat. So then what do we need? Well, we need some blue. We need something under here. And so isn't that some box shadows? That's some box shadows. I think it's this 10 pixels, 10 pixels, pink. Let's and just see the thing. Okay, so that's so we can see it. All right, so I need 2 of those. Over more, 2, 3, 25, and then down 80, 70, 20 over. All right, and if I put the blue color, then I can use that box shadow. Great. Oh, no, that's covering. That's no good. That is now covering, okay, because it's at the different level. Yeah, that doesn't help me. This is the second one. I would need to put it, I need to put it where? I need to put it, because I need us, because those box shadows are circles, so I can't use that trick. So forget it. Let's do a linear gradient to the side. 90 degrees, transparent, and I'm going to do pink so I can see it. 0, 0, 100 pixels wide, no repeat. So and what am I building? I've forgotten what I'm building. Oh, I've got that. Okay, and then I broke my, I broke so many things. There we go. Okay. So I need to cover this bit of blue. Okay, so then we're putting that back. So I need to go to this edge, 2, 2, 10, 20, 30, 40, 245. And then that's 1, 4, 5, 155. And then if I add the blue, that's what I want. And then I don't need a no repeat. And I don't actually think I need a second placement. And then I can use 1% as the width of the linear gradient. And then I'm going to minify and unit replace. And for goodness sake, I'm done. And let's see what that score is. And it's not better. All right. So, yeah, is there anything else I can do? Not for this case. Oh, can I set a height instead of aspect ratio? Height 10. That's a little shorter. Submit. A lot of goofy techniques here. And we can set that to be an ampersand, and none of these is going to get me a best score or a grade score. So what's my top score? I guess it's this one here, which is nested and multiple gradients and backgrounds. All right, so that's the best. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Take care of yourself, take care of each other, go make a webpage, and see you again tomorrow.